Toroline, they've got so many options. How can you possibly choose? Well, I'm here to help. Today, I'm going to go through my top 5 Toroline strings. So, Toroline are one of the newest string manufacturers on the market, and they are becoming increasingly popular, and that is because they make some fantastic tennis strings. We have tested all of them this year quite extensively. I didn't think I'd spend 2024 testing every single Toroline string, but there you have it. And interestingly, because there are so many, and they're all polyesters, they fill a very, very small range. So it's actually quite difficult to separate them all out. We found it fairly hard when we were testing them all, but I have still come to a conclusion, and I have a top 5. Before we get into it, I'm going to honorably mention the entire brand. All of their strings are good. They just, the ones I don't like just do very specific things. So you'll see as I go through that I have a sort of very particular taste when it comes to my tennis strings, which might not be to your liking. Please let me know below. Maybe wait to see the end of the video first, but we do like to hear what you guys think based on what we think and what you think yourselves. So before any more delays, let's get into it with number 5. Okay, so without further ado, number 5, we have Wasabi. Now, Wasabi comes in 3 colours. They are exactly the same string, just different colours. I do prefer the green, if anybody cares. But Wasabi is a very good spin string. It is square. It comes with 1.23mm gauge, and I just really like it because it gets great bite on the ball, but still slides around. So quite often with shaped strings, they can start to grab onto each other and they get quite tight and frictiony, which can undermine some of the spin that the shape creates. But Toroline have put some lovely lubrication on them. They slide around great. You get a really comfy, spinny, powerful impact from relatively stiff string. So at number 5, Wasabi. At number 4, I have Wasabi X. Now, Wasabi X is a slightly strange string from Toroline. It is perfectly round, and it is designed to be sort of used as a blend with the shaped strings from Toroline. So, for example, Wasabi is square, Wasabi X is round. You blend the two together, and that just enhances the snapback because the round surface isn't going to provide as much friction, so you get even more spin, even more comfort, and that is what Wasabi X is all about. It is super soft, really, really comfy, so maybe not great all on its own in a racket, but it goes great with all of the others. So I'm put it at number 4 as kind of in honor of its adaptability, its versatility, and how it helps improve the rest of the range. So try it on its own. I thought it was just a bit too much when it was just Wasabi X, but it goes great with Wasabi, and actually it is sold as Wasabi Pro, which is sold as a blend, and the two come together from Toroline. So at number 4, Wasabi X. At number 3, we have Enzo Pro. Now, specifically Enzo Pro 1.25mm. This is the narrower gauge of the two, and essentially pure power. That's what Enzo Pro is for. It's super soft, super spongy, really responsive, and just gives amazing snapback, and it just really, really, really fun and powerful string to play with. Again, like all of the Toroline strings, it's great in a blend, all on its own. You probably don't need it if you're playing with something super stiff and powerful like an E-Zone or a Pure Drive, but in my control frames, a full bed of Enzo power really complements the two, and it's just a fantastically fun, nice string to play with, which is pretty important to me. So at number 3, Enzo Pro. At number 2, we have Toro. One of my favorite things is a hexagonal string, and Toro fits the bill. It's shaped, which gives it a little bit of bite on the ball, perfectly round, allows it to slide. The more sides you have, the grippier it gets in terms of biting into the ball. Now, what's interesting, Toroline cover their strings in this really slick surface, so you still get this the strings snapping back over each other, and that actually creates a really sort of mid-range, all-round feel from Toro. So it's not really powerful, it's not really controlly, it's not massive spin, it's just one of those strings which is really, really easy to understand and play with because it gives you a really responsive, natural feedback. So you get exactly you get out exactly what you've put in, which is one of the things that I really, really need when I'm playing, is to be confident that what I'm using is going to essentially, it's not going to exaggerate or take away from what I'm doing. It's going to give me what I want, and Toro does that fantastically well. It is beautifully pink, looks great in almost every single racket, and it is my number 2 Toroline string. And then finally, at number 1, we have Toro, Toroline's newest string, and in my opinion, the best. Essentially, it is very, very similar to Toro, which was my number 2. It just feels like a little bit more. It's just a little bit better at everything. It's a great all-round string. You get loads of spin, loads of comfort, plenty of power, and most importantly, really, really predictable. It just feels nice, and it's a really fun, lovely string to play with, which just makes tennis a better game and a more enjoyable experience, and that can't be bad, and it's what I am after. So, number 1, Toro from Toroline. If you haven't used it, I strongly recommend you give it a try, because it is absolutely great. So there you have it, my top 5 Toroline strings. Hopefully you agree with me. I'm sure many of you don't, but opinions are different. Everybody's got their own, and isn't that great? There are so many Toroline strings to choose from. I think I'm correct in saying there are 18 different Toroline strings, so there's going to be plenty of options for everyone. If you like a co-poly monofilament string, Toroline is going to have something for you. I strongly suggest you try them all. Start with my top 5 and take it from there. They have a very useful feature on their website which tells you the stiffness gauge, so if you know that you particularly like a stiff string or a soft string, you will be able to find that information, but just give it a go, put them in your racket, have a nice game, and see how you feel. Once you've found one you like, there you go, job done, you've got a string for life. Hope you've enjoyed watching. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. You may be aware we have a coaching channel as well now. All of our fantastic coaching content can be found over there. Hit us a like and a subscribe, and you will see me very soon.